All right, it is a reigning PFL champion, now 2021 finalist, and let me add, media watchdog, Kayla Harrison. How about that new title, huh? Keeping us all in check with those questions.
You would never say something like that, so don't worry, you're safe for now.
I appreciate it. Are you surprised that did kind of take on a life of its own? Are you surprised how much attention was paid to what was said there?
Yeah, yes, I'm still learning, I think. I was it's weird to I guess I'm making headlines lately is the point I'm trying to make, and I wasn't trying to make a headline or do anything. It just kind of pissed me off, so I spoke my mind, and now everyone's like, "Oh, Harrison Blast reporter," and then I felt bad because I know the guy wasn't trying to be an asshole, so I tweeted out like a, "Hey, I know you're not a bad guy" thing. It's just like the media, you guys suck sometimes. Everything takes a life of its own. Everything.
It does. It does. Well, in fairness, I will say this. I completely agree with your point. The point that you made there about how you ask a female athlete a question versus a male athlete. It was very real, to be honest. And I don't want to pick on the guy either. I don't know the reporter personally, but as you said, not trying to pile on the guy, but I think it is a valuable lesson for anybody
Right.
that everybody just be treated the same. So I was curious though. Is that something that you've experienced a lot, like something that you've seen that just has built up inside you, or was it just something in the moment that you were like, hey, that's not right?
Um, well, it was definitely in the moment, but I kind of do see it a lot. You know, we talk about it a lot in MMA, especially where it's like, you know, female fighters are kind of judged based off their looks or based off their appearance. And I've heard comments before. I've heard, you know, oh, this girl only got that fight because she's hot or she has big boobs and like stuff like that. And I mean, I remember when I first thought about MMA, I didn't really want to get into it because I felt like Rhonda, who had been my teammate and training partner, kind of like had to sell herself like sex sells type thing. And I was like, she's a badass on her own. She doesn't need to sell with sex, you know, like so I feel like it's been a problem for a while, but the more we speak up and talk about it, the better it'll get.
Yeah, no question about it. Like I said, a good lesson for everybody. I think any budding journalists out there, reporters, just don't bridge that gap. So let's talk about the fight itself. Dominant. I mean, obviously you went out there and did what you do, but I also know you're a perfectionist, and I also know that you find flaws in everything. So when you have a fight like that, can you walk away and say I did what I need to do, or did you find flaws in it?
No, for sure I found flaws. I think but to be honest, I think that I'm okay with the flaws that were shown because I think it's going to give future opponents like a feeling of ease, if that makes any sense. Like people are like, oh, that's all she does. Like that's great. That's what I want them to think. You know, that's what I want everyone to assume. So I'm okay with the flaws, but I'm going to continue to sharpen my tools and be prepared when the big ones come.
I like it. Maybe a false sense of security there. So I don't think anybody can criticize the performance, but as you said, you're making headlines, and I think people now the headline I see is this Kayla Harrison. She is too cocky. She got in there and said, "Izzy can't
Yeah.
stop my takedowns." You know, she said, "What are you thinking when you hear people say she's too cocky?" I mean, I'm sorry, two-time gold medalist, undefeated mixed martial artist. I might be a little bit cocky myself, if I'm being honest.
Uh, I mean, it used to really bother me when people would say stuff like that, but now I'm pretty secure in my skin and I know I know that I was joking and like trying to play the audience a little bit, trying to play up the media a little bit. It's not like obviously I'm not delusional. I don't think that I could take down a middleweight champion of the world. Like I understand the concept of male strength and female strength. But at the same time, like, how dare you tell me what to believe in myself? Like, how dare you assume that I should think I can't take, like, of course I'm going to go in there thinking that I can take anyone down and win any fight. And of course, you have to have that mentality when you step in a cage and they lock the door. And if you don't have that mentality, then you're in the wrong sport. You're in the wrong place because if you don't believe in yourself, you will find a way to lose. So I'm going to continue to believe in myself. I'm going to continue to say things that I think are funny or find amusing. And if people don't like it, cool. I mean, I think either way, people are going to watch me now. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's funny because I've always felt that using the word cocky in describing a mixed martial artist, it should just be thrown out of the vocabulary, right? Because you touched on it there. Am I right in assuming that if you're going to step into a steel cage with another human being who is hell bent on doing you physical destruction, you better be almost delusional in your level of self confidence?
Of course, of course. You better be insane. Like you have so much self-belief that absolutely you better be puffed up like a balloon. And I also think that all of the people who say these things and judge me and Twitter troll me, like they've never done anything with their lives. They've never dared to be great. They've never dared to even believe in themselves. And I feel sorry for them because they're stuck in this space that they don't have to be stuck in. Everyone has a purpose, everyone has a passion, everyone has something they can be great at, and I encourage them to go out and chase it because that's what I'm doing and I'm happy.
That's awesome. And getting attention, including the attention of one Cris Cyborg, right? I thought this was funny too, because I saw people criticizing you for saying, hey, I could beat her. But I also wanted to point out to them, by the way, it was not Kayla who started that conversation. The tweet was directed at her. So what did you think of saying, hey, here's this all-time great and Cris Cyborg? Clearly, she's mentioning me now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a compliment. I take it as a compliment. I don't really care if people think I should, like, how dare I believe I can beat her? Like, do you guys really think I'm in here to come up short? Like, do you think I'm here to be second best? Like, of course I think I can beat her. Of course I want to beat her. Of course I'm going to tell myself over and over again that I can beat her because I believe that and that's what I want eventually. Like, that's what I'm headed towards. So I think it's great she's talking about me. I think she's great. I think it's great she's watching me. I think she knows too. I think she also likes to have her name in the headlines and likes to stay in the mix and stay relevant. And that's fine. You can ride my coattails. I don't care.
I love it. I love it. Well, the next step in the journey. The next step of the journey for you, obviously, the finals in October. A surprise finalist, right? Taylor Gordado. I don't think many people were picking her. Obviously, she had a great amateur career. Took a couple years off, made it back here to the finals. Give me your thoughts on her. Have you had a chance to start scouting her yet?
Yeah, we watched her. I know Mike Brown, the psychopath that he is, has already watched all of the girls and all of the girls that are new and like all of the girls that are potentially new. Like he's watched everyone and done all of it. We knew she had a good amateur record. I was interested to see how she did at 155, and she is kind of a little engine that could. I feel like she has forced her way to this finals. She's very deserving. She's a game opponent. I also happen to have a lot of respect for her. I think we tried to do a face-off in the cage after the fights, and we were just both like laughing. And I have nothing but good things to say about her. And it's one of those things where this is my job. This is what I have to do. And the little engine that could is going to have its trains wheels stopped in their track on October 27th. So.
It's a Cinderella story. It's great that she made it to the finals, but you're right. She's got an absolute tough assignment in front of her now. Training camp. When does it start? Do you take time off? During these seasons like this, in between playoff fights, do you take any time off, or are you already back in the gym?
No, I'm taking a week off this week. I'll be back. Monday will be I think 9 weeks out. Normally, I don't like to take time off. I really enjoy what I do, and I already want to go back to the gym. I have no injuries. I feel fine. But I will say that 4 fights in 5.5 months is pretty aggressive, even for me. So I think it's important for me to mentally reset. I think it's important for me to kind of let all the bumps and bruises just rest up, heal up, and come back with a vengeance. I'm excited. I'm ready to train right now, but it's a long, hard season, and I want to be absolutely prepared so that when I show up to training on Monday, I'm ready to give 110% every single workout.
Very nice. October 27th. Thought it was going to be in Vegas at one point. I was excited for that. Unfortunately, it's going to be in Florida, but I'm sure you like that. You don't have to travel, right?
Please don't say unfortunately. Fortunately, it's going to be in Florida. Thank God. Number one, no travel. Number two, no state income tax. Number three, I get to go sleep in my own bed the night of the fight. It's going to be great.
That's awesome. Fortunately for you. Fortunately for you. And how about fellow Olympian Clarissa Shields is on the card as well, right? Is that exciting for you? I know, like I said, you and I have talked before. I know people keep trying to make you girls fight. I don't think that makes sense. I know you don't think it makes sense, but just sharing a card and knowing the kind of, I'm sure, media attention and stories that will be written, is that exciting for you?
Not really. It's kind of annoying just because I know that everyone's gonna like do the comparison bullshit and the um I know that part's going to be annoying. I'm excited for Clarissa. I remember in 2018 I fought on the New Year's Eve final card as one of my one-off fights, and I remember being there and seeing it and watching these guys make their dreams come true and thinking like this will be me. And I was super excited. So I'm happy for her. I'm excited to see her continue to grow as an MMA fighter and just be supportive, you know. I think she's the future, and not that long ago I was the future, so it'll be good.
Another woman with a lot of confidence as well. And unfortunately, she gets criticized for that too. But I mean, I think it's amazing the fact that she's willing to take on this journey. I mean, it's a heck of a challenge. And talk about stepping outside of your comfort zone. I think it deserves a lot of praise, whether she wins or loses moving forward.
For sure. I think again, it's one of those things where everyone wants to make comments and criticize and judge, but you don't see a lot of people stepping in there and daring to be great. And she does that, and she does it fearlessly and with a ton of confidence. And that's why I have a lot of respect for her, you know. And I also, you know, she came from very humble beginnings. She created this life for herself. She did it. And I respect that. I can empathize with that because I feel like I've done the same thing. And I just have nothing but good things to say about her.
Yeah, no question about it. So finals, obviously big focuses on that, but we know there is free agency looming after that. So obviously quite possibly a very highly targeted free agent. So obviously those negotiations will happen behind closed doors, but I'm just curious, what is most important to you? I'm sure, you know, securing your financial future is most important. So that's going to be a big factor in it. But you know, as we said, people are comparing you and you know, doing these fantasy matchups with Cris Cyborg, of course, your teammate Amanda Nunes, other names out there. So is it important for you to have the opportunity to go test yourself against names like that in your career, or is it simply a matter of write me the biggest check, and I'll do that's where I'll go?
You know what? I've spent some time thinking about it and, you know, doing some soul searching, and obviously I don't want to be a sellout. I don't want to like just go for the biggest check, but I do have a number in mind that I would be willing to sacrifice for now, chasing those top opponents. So if there's life-changing money put on the table that's going to, you know, secure the future of my family, my children, then that's something I really have to consider. So we'll see what happens. All of that stuff is kind of out of my hands. I know that if I continue to go out there and put on dominant performances and do my job and make people troll me and talk about me, then I know that everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out.
Yeah, hey, they call it prize fighting for a reason, right? You're trying to go collect a prize, and that prize is the paycheck. Look, we've seen your teammate Dustin Poirier. Look what he's done recently. Passed up on a title shot to go take that big money fight with Conor McGregor. I didn't see anybody question his motives there. You understand? You go collect the biggest paycheck possible.
I mean, Dustin is like also literally fought the best of the best for the last 20 fights of his life. So he's also earned to do whatever he wants to do. But I feel the same, you know, I've earned the right. I mean, it's my life. I get to choose. That's the beauty of it. And I'm confident that I'll make the right decision when the time comes. But until then, it's all eyes on October 27th, all eyes on the prize.
No question about it. One more question about the future, though. I'll say, is the future definitely 155 pounds? I mean, are you open to discussions there? Would you want to do something different, maybe just to freshen it up for yourself or give yourself a new challenge?
Yeah, I'm open to all possibilities. I think the world is my oyster, and I'm ready to accept new challenges or continue on this same path. We'll see what happens. post October 27th, but I'm ready for it all. Bring it on.
I dig. I did want to ask you one last question as well. And I want to phrase this the right way because I know clearly the respect that you have for Amanda Nunes, and you don't like the idea of, hey, let's pit us, you don't want the drama. But I've heard conflicting reports. So I want to ask you directly, how much do y'all train together? Do you guys spend an amount of time training together?
We don't train together as often anymore as we did in the past. That's also due for a ton of reasons. We both have kids now. We both have different, in the past she would be fighting a southpaw grappler and I was the perfect look for that. And now I'm not really a perfect look for most of her opponents. And so there are a ton of things that go into that, but that doesn't mean we don't, we still train, we still talk about fighting and we still go back and forth on positions. And I told her also, anytime she wants me, anytime she needs a big girl body, I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to support. And, I'm totally open to it. I think she is too. It's just that life is busy.
Yeah, no question about it. I appreciate it. I'd heard stories of oh, you should see these gym wars. And I'd heard other stories of they're not really together. And I know that, when you're at the highest level, you kind of build training camps around yourself,
Yeah.
right? Rather than being all these partners in the room where just everybody goes with everybody.
Yeah. I mean, Amanda is she's obviously special. So she trains at, specific times that are conducive to her life. And I'm getting to that point where, I obviously work with my coaches one-on-one at least once a day. I do go to a lot of the classes still just because I think it's important and I enjoy it. But, our training schedules are different, and that's not because there's drama or beef or anything like that. It's just because that's it. We're two of the top tier fighters in the gym, and I'm the captain. She's the GOAT. We're good.
Not bad to have you both in the room, is it? It's
Always
funny.
good.
I know that the respectful teammate in you hate the discussion about it, but I will say from an athletic standpoint, I hope you can get together for a good natured, just athletic contest, no hard feelings, no Kobe Covington situation. You know what I mean? Let's just go in and do it. Two of the best in the world. Selfishly, I kind of hope it happens someday.
Yeah, I think if it ever does happen, that's the way it'll happen. I have nothing but love and respect for Amanda. I still look up to her quite a bit, and I've competed against my friends my whole life in judo. So for me, it's not it's not a personal thing, and I have no ill will. I'm also not chomping at the bit to get a piece of her or anything like that. I just want to be the best, that's it. So, but nothing but love for Amanda, always.
No doubt. Well, we'll leave the fantasy matchmaking to the sidelines for now. We'll see how free agency plays out. In the meantime, October 27th, the surprise finalist, the little engine that could, as you said, Taylor Gordano in the finals. Obviously, wish you the best of luck as always, and I'm sure we'll talk as the fight gets closer. But appreciate the time as always, Kayla.
For sure. Thank you so much.